NFL and sports fans around the world, welcome to part 3, the final addition to the update to free agency wild week in the NFL. Things took a curve on Wednesday. We seen Aaron Donald, who has been in the league for several years. I do believe it was 12, 13, maybe a little more. Finally said that he was retiring. And there is his stats. Super Bowl champion, 10 times Pro Bowl selection, 8 first round All Pros, 3 Defensive Player of the Year, 2014 Defensive Rookie of the Year, 11 sacks, and exactly 543 tackles. The man had a great year. Of course, a round of applause in the chat, in the comments. He was a force to be reckoned with every time he was on the field. And it's around the league. I know quarterbacks rejoiced. I know Kyler Murray put out a tweet about it. He was congratulating and happy just that Aaron Donald had finally stepped away because he was tired of being chased around in the backfield and being sacked. But hats off. Once again, congratulations. Hope retirement does you well, Aaron Donald. And hope if you ever do come back that you come to Seattle and get on the NFC West opposite side and be a dominant force there. With that being said, let's hop into the free agency aspect of this. This week had a lot of crazy stuff going on with Derrick Henry, DeAndre Swift, Josh Jacobs, Russell Wilson. A lot of big names moved around. The end of the week, it was kind of a little slower on that aspect. Not a lot of big names got moved as much, but there still was some, trades there. There were some re-signings, which I think was good as well. So we're going to run down through them all and knock it out. Of course, as always, sports fans, we thank you all for coming by and hanging out with us. If you want to be updated on all the sports information, hit that plus, ring the bell to get notifications turned on as we continue to grow the Kraken Underground channel here. With that being said, the former Titans head coach is now officially a head coach for the Browns. He was released after his 3 to 4 years there with the Titans, so hopefully he can do better with the Browns this year. I think the Browns are going to see a different team this coming season, with Deshaun Watson hopefully being back and healthy. And then also they did add Jameis Winston to the mix. So we'll see what the Browns offense looks like. The Lions extended Dan Campbell's contract. We know Dan Campbell has lost a few players on defense and offense, but he took the Lions from not winning any games to winning 2 games to being in the playoffs. So I think with everything he's done offensively and defensively for them the last several years, and even this offseason, we'll still see the Lions be a dominant force coming into the 2024-25 season. The Rams signed Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm assuming, because we have not seen any updates on Matthew Stafford, he's still going to be there. So that makes Jimmy G a backup for the Rams. I think, I know with the Las Vegas Raiders, he did not get to show what he was capable of. Yeah, that word 3 times fast for you. Like he did in New England under Tom Brady. But either way, Jimmy G is now a Ram. You also have the wildest trade that happened. Kenny Pickett went to the Eagles. Not sure why. He will be a backup there. I do not think that Hurts is going to be traded. I don't think, unless they're going to use Hurts more as a option / RPO running back with Barkley in the backfield as well, and Pickett's be like a dominant passer. I don't know. The Eagles are, I think, changing the offensive scheme heading into this season. So maybe Kenny Pickett will give them an aspect of, hey, But we will see what they decide to do with Kenny Pickett, whether he be involved in the passing game or if he continues to mold as a quarterback under Jalen Hurts. Either way, Eagles are changing their offensive setup, offensive scheme, especially with a big running back. Maybe we won't see Jalen Hurts run as much, and he'll focus on throwing the deep ball more. But either way, I think Kenny Pickett's going to have a hopefully career change with Philadelphia. You also had the Steelers get rid of Mason Rudolph. He is now a Titan as well, and I think the Titans are on a weird area with their quarterbacks as well. They got Malik down there. They have Ryan Tannehill. So 3 quarterbacks. Not, of course, all of them's going to start unless we're going to get rid of Tannehill for some draft picks. And you got Malik and Mason Rudolph as your starters. We will see what they do. You also have Titans signed Calvin Ridley to the wide receiver core. So with Malik and then, of course, Mason Rudolph, there's going to be a wide open onslaught of receivers down there. But they're still missing the running back factor, in my opinion. Yes, they got Pollard, but that's a huge difference when you've had Derrick Henry for the last 7 years. So we're going to see what Tennessee looks like. We also still do have the draft coming up. They could replace, in a sense, Derrick Henry with a bigger running back as well in the draft. But we will see what happens. The Eagles re-signed one of the best kickers in the NFL in Jake Elliott. For some reason, we don't know what Seattle's doing anymore. We just continue to root for them, win, lose, or draw. We got rid of Bobby Wagner after getting him back. He led the league in tackles. He led our team in tackles, sacks, I do believe, at one point throughout the season. But hey, you know what? Let's just ship him off to the Commanders. Why not? Commanders got a big ad in their middle linebacker core. The Cowboys signed Eric Kendricks from the Chargers. Big one. Looks like sleepy old Flacco is staying with us for another season. He is now signed with the Colts. Only reason I see this making sense is Anthony Richardson will not be healthy enough to start the season. Or he is there to help Anthony Richardson become a more pocket quarterback, because we've seen what happened when he ran the ball. He done great 2-3 weeks doing it, got a concussion, was out 2 weeks. Came back, done great 2-3 weeks, got injured, had surgery, ended his rookie career. So, we'll see what happens with that. If Joe Flacco gets to play a couple games, it's not going to be bad. If he's just there to mentor and improve Anthony Richardson, even better. We've seen that Kirk Cousins became a Falcon. And what does that mean? Desmond Ridder was out of a quarterback position. Where does he go? To be a backup for Kyler Murray with the Cardinals. That's good. That gives him time to mold and learn from what we could call now a seasoned quarterback, because he's not a seasoned vet yet, but a seasoned quarterback in Kyler Murray, and maybe become a starter with another team if that is what his future has set out for him. Also, we've seen the Falcons trade for Rondale Moore from the Cardinals. So that was probably in the exchange for Desmond Ridder. What does Rondale Moore add to the Falcons? A great target for Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins is actually going to be walking into a pretty stacked fence with a great future if they can just play it correctly and add to it on the offensive line aspect. And you got to make sure the Falcons defense is as well strong and healthy enough to continue to be a close contending team. I know last year defense saved them a lot. The offense just couldn't put anything together. So maybe now with Cousins down there and a few other pieces throughout the rest of the free agency and the draft, it'll help out a lot. The Chargers added Hayden Hurst to their offense. The Lions signed DJ Reader. Once again, we gave Bobby Wagner to the Commanders, and we decided that Sam Howell would be a good replacement for Drew Lock, and we signed him to be under quarterback spec. So Sam Howell has done good with the Commanders. Not going to say he hasn't. He did not have the best team, in my opinion, with the Commanders. Seattle, of course, if we can mold that offensive line back to what it needs to be, will be a great team again. So this could be a possible good add to the team in a few years. But we'll see how it goes. He may get some playing time. Honestly, at this rate, Seattle, I do believe, is in a big rebuild. We got rid of Pete. Gonna have to get a new offensive coach at some point. Head coach. I think the front office is looking into changing the scheme that we've had in Seattle. I'm just here for the ride to see, hopefully, one day, Seattle get another Super Bowl win. The Bills assign Curtis Samuels from the Commanders, a big ad for Josh Allen and that offense. The Packers re-sign A.J. Dillon, so Josh Jacobs will have a decent backup running back in case of needing some refreshments or some oxygen, because Josh Jacobs will be setting, I won't say records, not yet, but he will be in the running back leaderboard for rushing yards and maybe even touchdowns up in the Packers offense this coming season. Jaguars assign Eric Armstrong, which was a massive defensive ad for them. The Eagles signed Devin White, good linebacker ad for the Eagles. Huge news coming out of Chicago and Chargers. Keenan Allen is now a Chicago Bear. Very, very new type of look for them. We're going to see how that turns out for that team. The Jets signed Tyron Smith. And the craziest one to end the weekend, Saturday we seen that the Bears traded Justin Fields to the Steelers. Now with that being said, the Steelers now have Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. There's several things that Mike Tomlin could be thinking here. One, we're going to have two dual threat offensive quarterbacks. One that can scramble, one that can pass. Or we're going to start Russell Wilson. We're going to mold Justin Fields into being a better quarterback than what he was prior to. Or we may just see both of them out there, and it may be the craziest season we've ever seen in Pittsburgh in a long time, and they could surprise the whole NFL. I don't know. It's going to be great to see what they do, how they use both of these quarterbacks this coming year. Of course, with that is everything leading into Sunday of the free agency chaos that has been. I think we're about 30 days till the draft, so of course there's going to be more wild things happening. We will keep y'all updated on all football related news. If you want to keep up with sports and anything sports related here with the Kraken Underground, just hit that plus, ring the bell, turn on the notifications, and as always, until next time, the Kraken is over and out.